So I want to do a little review of nets because some people are having difficulty just visualizing that net when it's flat to what that would fold up to in a 3D shape. And it is tricky. It's something hard to get your mind around, but there's some really kind of easy clues that can help you decide if it's going to be a pyramid or a prism, and that's really what we're working with. So let's take a look at a pyramid. So all pyramids have a base, a bottom that it sits on a table or something with. And so I'm going to make my pyramid just have a rectangle on the base. So I'm going to have a rectangle here. So that's the bottom, the base. And then from the bottom, the sides going up to the apex or the point. Let me erase that there. Like this. Okay, so I have my pyramid. Now you can see there's a rectangle on the base. Then all the other sides on a pyramid have to be triangles. So watch, I'm going to shade some in here. See this back side? I'm going to shade this back side. You can see there's a triangle back there. Then I'm going to shade in this side over here. You can see it's a triangle here. And then it's harder to see the triangle on this side, but that is a triangle. And then the front side is a triangle. So what we have is a rectangle, and then we have a bunch of triangles coming off of that rectangle. And what it would look like when it is a net is you'd have your rectangle, and then you'd have to have a triangle off of each side. You'll notice on this pyramid that we've drawn, on the rectangle there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides in the rectangle. And that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So in order for it to be a pyramid, there'd be one shape that would be the base, and there'd be a triangle for each side of that base. So I'd have a triangle here, I'd have a triangle on this side, a triangle on this side, and a triangle on this side. 4 triangles for whatever shape is in the bottom. It's a 4-sided shape, it's a rectangle, then I have 4 triangles. So it's pretty easy to tell if it's going to be a pyramid because there's going to be one shape and then the rest are triangles. Let's take a look at a new one here. I'm going to do a hexagon. So I have a hexagon here. If I want to make it a pyramid, I'm going to have triangles for each side of this. So I'm just going to draw on here just so you can see. I'm going to make my pyramid. So here's my pyramid. So I have a hexagon on the base, and then each of these sides are triangles coming up. That's one side. I'm not going to do them all because you got the idea from the last one. You see another side that's a triangle, and let's do this side as a triangle. So you can see all these would be triangles. So we have a hexagon which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. That means there's going to be 6 triangles coming off of this, and they're going to be coming off of each of the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And these would all fold up to make the pyramid. Now, pyramids are easy now. Let's take a look at prisms. Prisms, instead of having one base, they have 2 bases. So let's make a shape. I'm going to keep that whole hexagon thing, which is 6 sides. And then there's going to be a hexagon at the other end, the same as this. I'm going to try to draw it perfectly. Like this. And then they're connected, each of the sides are connected with a rectangle. So prisms have two shapes, two bases that are the same shape, and the rest are all rectangles. So let's see, you can see here, I'm going to do this side right here. You can see this side is a rectangle that connects the front to the back. This side you can't quite tell just because it's 3D, but that would be another one. We have this top one that is a rectangle. See that pretty clearly. You can see this side, another rectangle. All rectangles going all the way around this shape. So we basically have two shapes in the front and back, or it could be the top and bottom, and then rectangles connecting them all. So in order to be a net for that, you have to have two shapes that are the same. So I would have, let me get rid of that. I'd have two hexagons in this case that are the exact same size and everything. And if I could draw them nicely, okay. And then you'd have to have rectangles, the same number of rectangles there are sides on this, on the main shape, the base, the hexagon. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to have 6 rectangles. They can be squares too, just make a smaller kind of prism. But let's just go like this. As long as I have, I'm going to make the simplest way. I'm going to go down this way, and I'm going to move this page up a bit. As long as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These would all be the same size. I didn't do a great job of drawing them. And then another hexagon. Sometimes they're over to the side. Sometimes it could be just here in the bottom, just like this, nice and easy. But some could be, they're in different spots. They still can fold up to make the hexagonal prism, as long as you have the number of rectangles or squares for each of these sides. Okay, so 6. So I need 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? So now we're going to do a little practice. I'm going to go to this here, and you're going to do this in your book. You're going to draw shape number 1. And then you're going to decide what that is. So you can pause the video now, then I'm going to come back and just tell you what it is, and then we'll go on to the next question. So pause the video now. All right, you're back. So let's take a look at this. We have 2 shapes that are the same, and then 3 shapes that are the same. So in this case, I'm going to do this in blue. We have 1, 2. These 2 triangles are the same, and the rest are rectangles. How many sides are on a triangle? 3, right, exactly, 3. That means in order for this to be a prism, I have my 2 bases that are the same, and the base has 3 sides on it, which means it's got to be 1, 2, 3 rectangles. So this would be a triangular prism. Okay, let's look at number 2. Draw out number 2 in your math book, and then write down what you think it is, and then come back here. So pause the video now. So this one could be a little more tricky looking because it looks like we've got a lot of shapes that are the same. Looks like they're all rectangles. So we're going to kind of keep it like this other one. You can see where these rectangles or these triangles were sticking out the side. Well, these small rectangles, which are the exact same size, are sitting out the side. And there's 4 sides on this rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles to connect them. So this is another prism. These are the same. These are the bases, front and the back. And then these sides wrap all the way around. So there's 4 rectangles. So this would be a rectangular prism. So we've had 2 prisms so far. Let's look at the next one, number 3. Draw this in your book the best you can, and then pause the video and come back and see if you got it right. All right, so this one, I see lots of triangles in this one. These ones, I have lots of rectangles. Okay, but this I have lots of triangles. I have one shape, and then the rest are triangles. So this is probably going to be a pyramid. The one base right here, and it's got, this base has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So that means there should be 4 triangles coming off that base that go up to a point, up to an apex. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Yeah, so what kind of pyramid is this? Well, it's named by the base. The base is a square in this case. So this would be a square based, because that's the base is a square, pyramid. All right, let's look at this next one. Number 4. Hey, this looks really similar to number 3. Yeah, pause the video and see how you do on this one. All right, you're back. Well, hopefully you figured out that this one, number 4 and number 3, are really the same. We've got the one base, and then we've got these sides that come up, 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Remember, one shape with lots of triangles, probably a pyramid. 2 shapes that are the same with lots of rectangles, probably a prism. Let's take a look at this next one. Okay, I've got lots of squares in this one. All of them are squares, actually. So this one, it's going to be, there's no triangles, so this can't be a pyramid. So it's got to be a prism of some kind. Well, this is a special kind of prism. When everything is squares, then it has to be a cube. That's a kind of special name for a prism that's all squares. It just makes a cube. Now, here's the thing. Some people can trick you. There's sometimes you'll draw out nets and they'll say, hey, can this make a cube? And the only thing you got to watch for is you got to make sure, okay, I've got 2 sides for my cube. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 2 bases, I should say. The 2 bases. And I got 4 sides. So that means I need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 other squares. So I really need 6 altogether. Sometimes they'll have like not enough. So they'll only have this many. So does that make a cube? No, it wouldn't quite make a cube because you need another base. It's a little bit of a trick. So this is going to be a cube. I wanted to tell you this one because we didn't really do it together, okay? So let's go on to the next one. You can draw this in your book, though, and label it a cube. Pause the video and do that, and then come back to this one, number 6. All right, number 6. Here we go. What do we have? I have triangles and I have rectangles. But I only have 2 triangles. And I have 3 of the rectangles. So in this case, I have 2 of the same shapes. These are the bases. 2 triangles for bases. 1 and 2. And then I have, because a triangle has 3 sides, I need 1, 2, 3 of these sides that wrap up around. So this is going to be a prism. So this is what kind of prism? Well, it's based on it's on the bases, how you figure it out. So it's a triangular prism. Okay, let's look at the next one, number 7. Pause the video, draw number 7 out. It's pretty tricky to draw this, do the best you can, and then come back and see, and label what you think it is, and come back and see. So here we are. Well, we have lots of rectangles and 2 shapes that are the same. 1, 2. These are hexagons because they have 6 sides. So when I have 2 shapes the same with lots of rectangles, it's going to be a prism. So what kind of prism is this? Well, it's a hexagon because these are the bases. Hexagon is on the base, So this is a hexagonal prism. And how many rectangles should there be? There should be 6, one for each side of that hexagon. Let's count them just to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's a hexagonal prism, and these sides all connect to turn it into that. Okay, let's try number 8. Pause the video or draw it out, and then come back when you've labeled it. All right, you're back. Let's see. This one. I see 2 shapes that are the same, and then the rest are rectangles. So this is probably a prism. Let's take a look. Triangle here, triangle here. So these are the bases, number 1 and number 2. The rest are rectangles. How many sides does a triangle have? 3. 1, 2, 3. So that means I need 3 rectangles. 1, 2, 3. So this is a triangular prism. And then the last one. Pause the video, draw this out, label it, and then come back and see me. All right, the last one. Well, we see one shape, and then the rest are triangles. So I've got a square here, and all the rest are triangles. So this is going to be a pyramid. What kind of pyramid? Well, the base, that one shape, is a square. So this is going to be a square-based pyramid. Awesome job, guys.